Think back to an event of old that you hold and carry with you today. The reason you hold and carry it with you, the reason it still weighs you down and limits your enjoyment or potential to experience and create in life, is because you have not fully accepted it. If somebody has wronged you and you tried to deny or to escape the wronging, then you are only preventing that, and what you prevent persists. If you accept the experience of old by looking for and finding the positives within it, then you liberate yourself and you stop the actual attachment to the person and event of old draining you, limiting you going forwards. You create it either way. You create the attachment and limitation or the freedom. So which life do you wish to create? So very simply and quickly, I'll take you on a short journey. Think back to the most significant event of old, the one which still weighs you down, limits you and affects your decisions in life, one that feels heavy. Yes, that one. And what I'd like for you to do is actually allow, as this journey takes place, as we're going to go on a short, very simple and powerful journey, could condense a session that I would have with a client into a 5 or 10 minute experience. And I know that you have a conscious mind, a doing mind, a thinking mind, an egoic mind. And I thank this element, this part of you, for everything that you do, for bringing protection and safety. And I know everything you do to bring that protection and safety. And if you have experienced an event of old that was traumatic, it makes sense to protect the being, the element of self, the entity that you are from that event. I know you have a conscious as well as a subconscious mind, and I am fully aware that the subconscious mind's highest and truest directive is to protect and serve the body. Once again, if an event of old was traumatic, if it brought with it a feeling of fear, then it makes sense to place that element, that event, in a box and to cast that box into the darkness of the mind. But I would like to now tell the subconscious mind with the clarity of conviction that if you do not deliver all information required about the event of old that you have placed and stored in the darkness, the one which still limits you and holds you down and weighs you back, the one which drains you, if you try to keep that information in the darkness, you will not be best protecting and serving the body. By allowing all the information required to come to the surface, by allowing all learnings to be integrated, you are best protecting and serving the body. You're allowing for that element, that part of yourself, to be integrated in completion back into the whole, and to actually let go of that event of old. To see the positives that were there within it that you were unable to see at that point in the past due to your perception of it and your attachment to it in that moment in the past. From this perspective now, from a higher perspective, with all the information you now have, knowing that that event has actually led you to where you are, and without that event you would not be the person you are. Listening to this now, able to integrate back into yourself in completion, all aspects of yourself now. I ask that that element of yourself, that is the conscious egoic self, remain seated and become the watcher, the observer. And for your subconscious mind, connected to your higher consciousness, your super consciousness, with direct access to the Akashic records, to float up, to separate, to allow, to let go, and just to start to float up. Float way up. Travel, journey, soar, and ascend up, way up into the air. And from this higher perspective, I would like for you to bring to mind the first event, the very first event when you felt, when you experienced a sense of being a victim. I'd like for you to allow the subconscious mind to bring up the first event when you decided you were a victim, and for you to be shown this, to see this with a clarity of vision, and to simply start to actually travel back to that event now, all the way back to that event, whenever it was, whether it was in this lifetime, a past lifetime, whether it was after your birth or before your birth, even within your mother's womb, or potentially passed down to you, if not from that previous lifetime, a previous lifetime, then maybe even genealogically, ancestrally. Just go back there now and take up position number 1 so that you're looking towards the past down into the event. And when you get there, I would like for you to then simply go ahead and take up position number 2 so that you are directly above the event, looking down into the event and facing towards now. And from that perspective, from that higher perspective, being able to see from that bird's eye view everything that was taking place, with an understanding of why you then felt victimized, but being able to see the complete and true picture, I would like for you to ask your unconscious, your subconscious mind, what it is it needs to learn from this event, the learnings of which will allow you to let go of the feeling of the disattachment to who you are, to remember who you are, to reattach to who you are, to reconnect to the truth of who you are, to re-emerge from the darkness into the light. In completion, I'd like to ask your unconscious, your subconscious mind what it needs to learn from the event, the learnings with which will allow you to let go of the feeling of being a victim easily and effortlessly. Your subconscious mind can and will preserve these learnings so that they are there should you need them in the future. What learnings does your subconscious mind require? Knowing that you are actually never or have ever been a victim, that you are the reversal of this in completion, that you are loved in all ways. I'd like for you to allow the subconscious mind to bring up any and all learnings required, doing so in an I am context, as the subconscious mind can best understand and utilize I am. I am free. I am a creator. I am aware. I am acceptance. I am forgiveness. I am liberation. I am united. I am eternal. I am love. I am divine. I am loved. I am success. I am joy. I am divine. There's actually a few more steps and a lot more depth required to fully integrate the truth of who you are and liberate yourself from any and all past traumatic experiences, negative beliefs, or emotions that you do not desire to embody. Anger is beneficial if used and directed in the right way. It is beneficial to actually allow that anger to be channeled as fuel for the fire. If you try to repress it, then it will only cause conflict within. So just go ahead and start to travel back to now with all that information, and go ahead and actually integrate it in completion. If you would like to complete this journey with all of the steps involved and required to bring that in a completion and integration back into the self, then simply reach out, connect, and we will make it so. You are a being of unlimited potential in all ways. I know this to be true, and I believe in you, even if you don't. I didn't used to believe in myself. I had condemned myself to a life of misery, of darkness, of emptiness. Emptiness is the most prominent word. And now I embody the entire universe. All of the energy, all of the passion, knowledge, wisdom, love, it is all within me. It is all part of me, as it is all part of you. Acknowledge past events and accept them. Only then can we move to the next step of accreditation, of ownership, to then move on to actually allow for those events of old to flow by, just like the clouds. If you have a positive thought, you accept it. If there is a beautiful, wispy and angelic cloud, you accept it. If you have a negative thought, especially once you start upon your journey of self-improvement and bettership, if you have a negative thought, quite often you then condemn yourself for it. Just as you condemn the dark and stormy clouds. Why? It's just a thought. It's just a cloud. It's going to flow by. It's going to flow by. We know this. We know that the sun is always shining. We know we will see it again. We know that a thought is just a thought. It does not confine you. It does not defy you. It does not limit you in any way unless you decide and actually implement it. So, to confine yourself to the darkness because you've had a dark thought, you are placing yourself in that place, in that position. You are taking upon that role once again to ensure that you remain in a state of liberation, of creatorship at all times. Okay, I've had that thought. Doesn't mean anything. It's there to actually learn from. Accept, acknowledge the thought's there, accept you've had it, own it by actually looking for any positives that you can take from it, anywhere you can learn and grow from it, and then allow it to flow through, disattach from it. It's a gift. It's an absolutely amazing and truly wonderful gift, this life. And if you are at any point separated from this truth, then that is what I'm here to do, to remind you of who you are. Once again, please subscribe to the channel, support the cause in whatever way you feel guided to do so. Head over to any of your favourite social podcasting hosting stations or platforms and listen to and download Midday Mindfulness. Midday Mindfulness is a very beautiful and powerful podcast that we actually interview and house very, very uniquely special and talented guests upon. There is obviously the Cosmic Surfer YouTube channel and the Mainstream Meditation channel, so please ensure that you subscribe to both of those. And head over to greatestversion.club to utilise not only all the free courses there, but all the more expensive ones for those of you that are dedicated to yourself in completion, that have got to a point where you know yourself to be worthy to invest that small amount in, to then actually utilise and embody those massive, impactful changes that the courses will bring you. I've created my dream life, I've liberated and freed myself, and it is my honour to be able to do this for you. Thank you, as always. If you have not yet done so, please go back and watch each episode leading up to this one. This is episode number 4 of Modern Day Mindfulness. And next week we will discuss accreditation, ownership, and the next step within the 5 steps to freedom. Obviously, this is a new series, as I've said before, and it is every Tuesday. Every Thursday there is an episode, again on Cosmic Surfer, of United We Stand, and Saturdays is the Together We Rise, the more in-depth and spiritual-based series. Thank you for who you are and for everything that you continue to do. Reach out and connect if you have any questions, and actually any topic of conversation that I can cover in whatever topic, in whatever means, in whatever avenue, please let me know and I will make it so. I love you, and until next time, namaste.